the first part of this question is not too difficult. We're being asked to write the profit function p of x, and p of x is going to be the difference between its revenue and its cost. So r of x minus c of x. Just like that. So r of x is 550x cubed minus 12,000x squared plus 83,000x plus 7,000. And then we're going to subtract c of x, and that will give us p of x. So let's work this out here. P of x is going to equal 550 minus 880, that is negative 330x cubed. 12,000, negative 12,000 minus negative 21,000 will become positive 9,000 x squared. And then 83,000 minus 150,000 is negative 67,000 x. And then for our last term, we'll take 7,000 minus negative 160,000. So we'll actually be adding 160,000, which would be positive 167,000. All right, first part of the question is done. We've now figured out what p of x is. For the second part of this question, we're being asked to graph that polynomial p of x over the domain from x being between 2 and 16. Definitely going to use your graphing calculator here to help you. And I'll warn you right now, it is not easy to set your Windows settings to the appropriate ones, but eventually you will get something that looks like this. So you can see the Windows settings that worked for me was for x, I gave a minimum at 0, a maximum at 18. And then remember that we're only interested in the interval from 2, which is here, to 16, which is here. So when we're done, we're going to have a graph that looks like that. And then for the window settings for your y-axis, started at 0 and went up to, I think it was 90,000. You can see that here's 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000. So to draw this accurately on the test, what you would do with your graphing calculator is go take a look at some of the table settings and see, okay, well, when x is equal to 2, what is y? So using that example, let me just move this stuff off to the side here. Using that example on the table, you should see that when x is equal to 2, you get a y value of 66,360, which roughly would be right around here. When x equals 3, you would be just below 40,000. And so, yeah, you just carry on using your graphing calculator and the table of values to help you out. And eventually you get to this point where we can now connect all of these dots with a nice curve. Oh, that was not a very nice curve. There we go. And of course, we're stopping at 16 and starting at 2. Now, the last part of this question is actually not too difficult. It says, over the given domain, state when the company was the least profitable and the most profitable to the nearest year. Well, graphically, the company would be the least profitable at a minimum. And we can see that they reach a minimum between 5 and 6 on the x-axis, and that represents the year number. So it's during the 5th year that they have a minimum, and then the maximum reached is pretty much right at year 13. So you can read my explanation here. I wrote that their least profitable year is during year 5, because that is when there is a minimum in p of x, and then their most profitable year is year 13, because there is a maximum in p of x. And that's it. We're all finished. Thanks for visiting JD's Preparation.